which size is best for you, A6, which A6 is the 7.8 inch devices, A5 is the 10.3 inch devices, or A4 is the 13.3 inch devices. So which actual size of tablet do you think is the right size for you? I'm just interested. Put your answers in the comments below. Carlos has definitely nailed his colours to the mast there with the Nova Air. So the reason why I asked you that question and let me know is because this part I'm torn. I'm not, but this might be the question you're asking. I'm torn between the Nova Air 2. This is the Nova Air, and the Nova Air 2 is an iterative kind of update to this one. I'm torn between the Nova Air 2, the Note Air 2 Plus, Note Air 2 Plus, a very tempting device for a lot of you, I know. Torn between that, the Nova Air 2, the Note Air 2 Plus, the Tab Ultra is the next one, the Tab X. I don't actually have the Tab X yet. That is something that will be coming on my channel, I am told, hopefully sooner rather than later, because I'm really looking forward to actually trying that out. And I'm going to talk about these and talk about how you might make the choice between these. So I hope that's going to be a useful thing for you Boox. If you're not aware of Boox as a kind of set of devices, I do have the big one, the Max Lumi here as well, just to sort of make that comparison, which is going to struggle to fit onto my screen the whole time. But what I'll have to do is go sort of solo mode on this one, and you can see, can maybe rotate that round and we'll be able to sort of have a little look around the Max Lumi as well. But really the reason why you're going to make this choice is that you're going to make it on the size anyway, so we'll be able to have a little think about that. Good that you want a Boox device. Good choice if you do want a Boox device, because I think that they are excellent devices. I do think is probably the best sort of lineup to do, and it is honestly just going to come down to what size fits into your life, because the software is very similar. The software experience is very, very similar. And although the newer ones might have better processors and the GPU and things like that, really there isn't that much of a noticeable difference in your actual use between the sort of hardware from one to the other, apart from the size. Software works just fine on all of them. Okay, there is another reason. If you're not short of a bob or two, then you might just go big, or you might even go for multiple Boox devices, and they sync across devices very well. And they've now added library sync, and Voya has solved the problem for everyone. He's worked out exactly how to library sync, and it's not as complicated as maybe it first seemed, I think. But the price is going to be a difficult one for many of you, especially if you're aspiring to one of the bigger ones, because that's like 800 quid for something of that size, the latest one, the Tab X. If you want to get your first taste of Eink, then recently I made a video which was your best bang for your buck Eink device. And honestly, the kind of conclusion of that video was go ahead and go for the Nova Air 2. And I think it's excellent. I think it's a really, really excellent little device. One thing about the small size is possibly, I think I'm a little bit less neat on this small size. But actually, what I've been doing is actually reading on a Kindle app. I've been making notes on the other side. So I've been making notes on split screen on this tiny little screen, and it works just fine. I really like it. In fact, it doesn't just work just fine. It's actually a really nice experience. And as I say, think about what fits into your life as well, because here I've got my notes on one side and my book that I'm reading along with that notes on the other side. This is on the Kindle app. And this will do it really, really well with a book notebook in the Boox Neo Reader app. So the Nova Air 2 is really excellent. However, I think if you buy this, it is good value for money. I think you'll end up wanting one of the bigger ones. Okay, so that's my kind of hunch, is that you'll buy this and then I think you'll want one of the bigger ones, because you'll kind of get into using Eink and you'll think, wow, actually this is going to fit into my life really, really well. So that is only really that difference between the way that you're going to use it based on the size. The software is pretty much identical. You get more power in one, but this runs everything, as you've just seen, perfectly well. It runs it just the same as the other devices. Okay, well, it's not the same. There is a reason for having the GPU. There is a reason for having a better processor, but it does everything that you would want to do on an Eink tablet. If you just want to read PDFs, read Kindle, make notes, the things that Eink is really, really good for, then the Nova Air 2 does really well. And this is actually the device that I currently put in a bag if I'm traveling. It does actually fit in a jacket pocket, and I've tried this before. Well, you need big jacket pockets, obviously, but it does fit. This is excellent. So I'm just going to go through kind of bunches of reasons why things that might be priorities for you. and which ones you should buy. So if you want to just read in bed on this device, then choice is clear. Nova Air 2 is excellent. Okay, definitely. If you see yourself this replacing a Kindle, you're not going to buy a Kindle because you're going to use Kindle on this app, on this device, then go for the Nova Air 2. Do you want to use split screen occasionally, then go up to the A5 size, because, okay, I've just shown it does work quite well on there, but actually you are better off having a split screen of a larger size if you're going to occasionally use split screen. And if you really want to use split screen a lot, okay, then do go up to one of the bigger devices. I'll get that up again. Occasional use of split screen, then definitely go for the Note Air 2 Plus or go for the Ultra as well. Just as good for that, depending on a couple of other choices. If you want to use it loads, though, split screen loads, then tell you what, go for the big one. And again, you can go Kindle or you can go Word, you can go just about anything. And then I can go into split screen here. It's the way around apparently. And I can get my notes on this side. And you might notice that it's got all of the same notepads you've seen on the other ones, because it just syncs between these different devices. One choice might be just to go for all three if money is absolutely no object, or go for the big one, and the little one might be another choice to go for as well. I do think if you're going to use split screen a lot, then there are reasons to go for the larger screen device. If you want to do a lot of writing and editing, and it's not the Max Lumi you'd buy, by the way, it's the Tab X, and I'm seeing this as pretty much equivalent as the Tab X because that's the one you'd buy currently. If you do a lot of writing or editing, then go for the Ultra. Go for the Ultra for sure, because especially if you edit your own writing or edit for somebody else, then having a keyboard is really very, very useful. And what you can do with the Ultra keyboard case, I've shown this quite a lot in videos before, is you can prop it up like so into the keyboard, and then you have the full set of keys that you can use to make those changes to your typed text. And the keyboard case is really, really nice. Keyboard is large enough for some kind of casual typing. It wouldn't be for long term, lots and lots of typing, but better than an iPad keyboard in my opinion. It's really, really nice. If you edit text, this is excellent. And you can still use the voice input, and you can type as well if you need to at the same time. It's excellent. So one way to use voice is to say things and then it gets the occasional thing wrong, and then you can change it with the keyboard. But actually making those changes is far easier with a full keyboard or occasional word. It's not recognizing, so you can type it out quickly and off you go. Do you want to use a lot of different apps? If you want to use a lot of different apps, then the Tab Ultra or indeed the Tab X will be excellent at that as well. The GPUs and the Tab X and the Tab Ultra, they are excellent for handling that range of different apps, and they do a better job, not a perfect job yet, of optimizing apps for Eink. So it's really good. If you're absolutely used to that A4 size, then if you read a lot of A4 documents, or your planner has been A4 for a long time, and that might be why I like the large screen tablet so much, is because my planner has been A4 size planner for some time. And I think that if you really like reading on a big size, then I think definitely go for the Tab X. If you need it to fit in a pocket, then you know what the answer is to there. That's the Nova Air. If you've not got much room on your desk, that's another one. I've got a nice big desk with lots of space, as you can tell. If you've not got much room, then definitely go for the Note Air 2 Plus or the Ultra, because that size will fit next to your keyboard really well. But if you have got lots of room, and if you're going to generally work with a device in the same place, then go the Tab X. Great choice if you're going for a Boox, by the way. It is a really excellent thing. Nova Air 2, cheap wireless keyboard on the go. Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. What a great device. You know, it's fantastic, that little tiny little device, and typing on it is a really good experience if you can couple it with a good keyboard. How's the Lumi and portrait mode, scientific articles? That's the way to go. I mean, that's design and NASA, that is the way to go if you are somebody who reads a lot of scientific articles. Anything that's published as PDFs at A4 size, go Max Lumi or now Tab X, right? Absolute no-brainer there. No, it's not that heavy. Surprisingly not heavy. Surprisingly not heavy. A lot of people ask that. I'm a bit surprised really when I pick it up. It's kind of like, it just doesn't feel, it probably is as heavy as the other devices, probably is heavier, but it doesn't, it's not like dense. It doesn't feel like a lump. It feels like, like a large, sort of that size of a magazine almost. It's not much heavier than a magazine really. Agree with Boox, yeah, absolutely.